Yo guys, this is Orbit here, TGN, and welcome to a DC Universe online video. As you can see, I am in the last boss of the Blackest Night raid, which is the latest raid on live servers. And it's funny because in my very last video, the Ask Orbit video, someone actually asked me, Orbit, have you been in the Blackest Night raid? My response was no, because of course at the time that was the answer. But moments later I log on and someone from my league is asking me to come in and tank just the last boss. They had already got to the last boss, they just needed a tank to fill in, and they asked me, and I was like, first thing I was like, I'm not sure if my subscription is run out. Wasn't sure if my legendary had run out, but luckily it hadn't. Secondly, I was like, is my combat rating even high enough to get into this? Because I've been just literally logging off doing the odd PvP match, completely not even looking at PvE, hence my combat rating of 145. But it turns out my combat rating is high enough. I did jump in, and I kid you not guys, this is my first attempt of solo tanking this, and apart from the little scuff up at the start where people weren't ready, you know, once we're all settled down, we just breezed through it with a weak solo tank in comparison to Necron and Blackhand. So I'm not going to do another video saying, you know, oh, the content's so easy, blah blah blah, because you know you've heard it all before. But what are your thoughts on it, guys? What are your thoughts on it? I hate being able to log on and solo tank, you know, content which should be so much more difficult than what it is. I personally hate that. So there's going to be people which disagree, and some people like to get the content done. But there's a massive chunk of PvE content which I haven't done because I've been away, and I've skipped content to jump in here, and I'm completing this, which I don't feel should be the way. Other people would disagree with me. We actually got a feat as well. It was the missed fulfillment feat, and I don't know what that was for, but we got that as well. So here it is anyway, guys. I know there's a bunch of you guys that wanted to see me in the raid, do the raids. Here we are. We actually ran it again afterwards, which I could not be asked to do, but you know, once you're in the group and they're like, good group, let's just rerun it, you know, one of those ones, and I'm like, it's a bit tricky to get away in that position. So anyway, let's talk about the loadout. I haven't talked about my loadout in a video in ages, and some of you Earth tanks or whatever may be interested. So there's a few more minutes of the video left, so I thought I'd just talk to you about my loadout. The reason why I haven't done another loadout video in so long is because my loadout has not changed at all. I really believe that this is one of the best possible tanking loadouts you can have as being an Earth tank. I've tried so many. Let's not forget, I have been a Earth tank for a very, very long time. I've tried out dozens of different loadouts. This one is superior. So let's go through from left to right. Firstly, I've got Earth and Grip, which is my single target pull, followed by Epicenter, which is my AoE pull. Those are my two pulls. Occasionally I'll change Earth and Grip to Stone, which is a single target taunt. So I'll either have a taunt and a pull and an AoE pull, or a single pull and an AoE pull. They're the first two moves. I'll switch, and depending on what I'm doing, you know, if I need to take a boss to one side, I'll obviously put the taunt on. So I switch between those two, but apart from that, everything else is the same. I've then got the immunity. My mind's just gone blank. It's the immunity where you get a small little heal back. Soothing Sands, there it is. And with Soothing Sands, the great thing about it is you can use it to clip with. You know, it's an immunity. I mainly use it to clip with. Next up, we've got Gem Shield. This is great. I like to clip that as well. You have a basic shield. Then, of course, you've got Fortified Golem, and you've got Fortified Golem and the actual pet itself, Brick. That's it. It's a super simple loadout, but simplicity is what you want when you're tanking. You don't want nothing too fancy. You want to just get the job done, and you know, this is all about pulling and survivability. There's nothing here which is going to get you a bunch of damage on the scoreboard, which I know certain tanks like to do. I hate this kind of tanks, you know, they put the whole flipping team in danger because they're trying to get higher on the scoreboard. This is all about survivability. I've also got, on most of my videos, they're all like, what's that green thing you're clipping with there? You know, what's the consumable you're using? I'm using chronometric emitters, which is the quantum stun, and I use that to clip with all the time, especially when there's ads. So if you see anybody like frozen in the air, the chances are I've clipped with it. You know, when all of the ads are stunned like that, they're not doing any damage to you. The moment I take the chronometric emitters off my loadout, I feel a difference. I feel a difference. Get them on, guys. You know, even when you can't stun them with it, it's great to clip with. For example, Epicenter has a slow animation. I want to make sure I'm clipping with the chronometric emitters if I'm in trouble. I've also got orbital strike, supply drop, and sidekick with sodas on my utility belt. So there is what I'm using, guys. It works, and there's my loadout. So apart from that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.